Ah. Nameplates. In the top rights of Everdream for game number 1 of a best of 5, we have the pink Protoss SOS. In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, he is Hurricane. I kind of talked him up for the Muslim a little bit, as Hurricane does not get talked up enough, but I totally understand why. Hurricane doesn't really perform in a way that makes people remember him. You know, Patience is remembered for probably more so his questionable decision-making paired with the results he's had in the past, which have been pretty good. But Hurricane just doesn't have anything unique to him that made his previous results actually noteworthy. Like, it's right. Like, it's like, yes, a round of 4 should be noteworthy in GSL, but that's the funny thing about the way people view competitors is, if you don't do it over and over and over again, what does it matter? And also, if you don't do it with any type of flash, what does it matter? And that's what really Hurricane is missing. He's not consistent enough to be like, oh, wait a second, he's just actually one of the best Protosses. Like, I think at one point, there's been a couple of different Protosses, specifically over the years, where it just kind of was like, wait a second, this guy just keeps making it. Like, hold on here. Nah, that's not really what Hurricane's doing. And otherwise, Hurricane doesn't have a lot of flash. In that he does everything pretty right, but not amazing. So, like, funnily enough, you could argue that Patience is flash is actually doing things incorrectly, but anyways. But Hurricane's PvP has always been good. So that's what I gave credit to him for, even though Showtime ended up winning. I think Hurricane, kind of like Zest, is always good at PvP. Difference is that his other matchups aren't quite up to the standard you would want. But if today's all about PvP, then today could be the day that Hurricane wins the Open Cup. Could absolutely see that happening, because he's certainly taken out Zest a couple times. If we're looking at Zest as kind of the pinnacle of PvP right now. Is that off? Uh-oh. I meant Epitome, by the way, not Pinnacle, but I'm more concerned about this Nexus. Hello? Doesn't that seem off? Okay, well. That's off. Don't. No. I'm gonna assume I'm wrong. But shouldn't it be over here? So, other things that are happening. 6 Adepts were made from SOS. That is enough to tear down a shield battery. In fact, people, when they know this is on the way, and 8 Adepts now in total, if Hurricane sees this and is able to skedaddle fast enough, you saw the Nexus timing. Okay. Alright, now he sees 8 Adepts. The 8 Adepts could tear down a shield battery. People actually build Cybernex cores against them. So it's a little bit weird, though, when sometimes your SimCity doesn't accommodate a Cybernex core, but only a shield battery or only a pylon. This should accommodate a Cybernex core, if he feels like he needs to. The Stalker's already being on top of the Adepts kind of complicate things. As you can see, SOS choosing to cancel. Did some Stalkers instead. It's a bit weird, because the Adepts are supposed to more so get probes. It's always what they're known for. But getting Stalkers and continuing to live and threaten is also good. Especially if you pair it up with a War Prism, which is exactly what SOS is doing. That Nexus is off. I was right. Wait. Yeah. I am. It's just one of those things where you don't think that a pro gamer would be wrong about this. So I'm just really confusing myself, but it's definitely off. SOS might not have noticed initially, but honestly, even if you had noticed immediately, it's quite a pain. You are literally physically hurting when you cancel a Nexus. Well, SOS is down 7 workers anyways, but there would also be a slight disadvantage in income thanks to these probes over on the right side. And well, his gas is going to be really awkward. But, oh, more important than that, oh god. I actually saw him not shade in, so I thought he wasn't going to do it, but he's definitely going to go for the attack. Warp Prism available means Micro is available. Hurricane's shield batteries are not quite done, and while he does block out the Adept successfully, there's not much left over here. Hurricane has Blink, which is really hurting to help out. Keep these Stalkers alive, but he has to pull the probes to help out, blinking forward to grab that Warp Prism. And then trying to target fire the Immortal, pops the shield at the very least, but Hurricane needs more reinforcements. He's lost 9 probes so far. Where are the rest of the reinforcements? Only still on 2 gateways, and his Robo is currently not doing anything. Hurricane somehow going to lose this game despite SOS putting his Nexus in the wrong position. Are you fucking kidding me? Hurricane, spend your money. Please. Oh my god, what? What? I didn't, shitball. You know what? Mind games. He was like, I'm gonna get the caster good. Also, I'm gonna really freak Hurricane out. I mean, it's like, it's so silly, but it really didn't end up mattering. It really didn't. His income was probably similar enough to what he wanted to do, because it was really the gas mining that was going to be the worst part of that off Nexus. Otherwise, he still had certainly enough income to do the usual attack. And, in that case, Hurricane, like me, wasn't expecting the committal. I thought harassment, you know, Warp Prism was going to use the Adepts for harassment, and then he's going to try and beat bop between left and right. And instead, SOS just jumps on top of Hurricane, and Hurricane's like, well, what the fuck? And loses, despite having his Nexus in the proper position. Good stuff. In the bottom right, up 1. Never doubt this man. He is the pink Protoss SOS. In the top left has the red Protoss. He is Hurricane.
Twitch Prime sub received. Thank you for appeasing the Overmind.
ALFONSODON. Thank you for the 3-month resub. Oh, I need to put the cat cam on. I need it. Hold on, guys. Don't tell anyone. Shh. Oh, what? I don't know why this keeps breaking. Shoot. A little bit of probe harassment, but nothing too interesting. Deathor sometimes does have the natural Nexus, fast Nexus, but not between these two guys. Oh, there we go. Look at him. Look at that fuzzy belly. cutie. You know, I think technically the guidelines say no face cam. They didn't say anything about a cat cam. Alright, so what are we having? Finally something a little bit different. So the Hurricane probe saying around his second pylon might actually be... There we go, third gateway. That's a third gateway. And SOS seems like he is just setting up for a natural very soon. He is checking around. He's got adepts to the left. Adepts to the right. Same pair of adepts. But shades are a thing. Probe is all the way over to the right, but everything is missing this. Everything is missing this. Oh, there we go. Nicely scouted. Now, adepts don't really kill these things very well. Stalker is a little bit better when you're trying to not only find proxies, but also destroy proxies. But adepts, you know, they're gonna have to deal with these two stalkers. Exactly what Hurricane's doing. And they just won't actually cut it, now without reinforcements. So Hurricane with 4 stalkers coming up to the natural of SOS. SOS with 6 units, but 4 of them kind of questionable in a direct fight. Is already on his way to a shield battery, so that's really nice. Nice use of a high ground pylon here. Hurricane with 3 gateways committed, and now with Nexus being blocked, really need to do some damage. So far, not finding anything. Not even injuring the whole of the units right now. Just the shields, which are instantly recharged by a shield battery finishing up, and Hurricane is in deep doo-doo. Hurricane tries to cheese the cheeser, and it's not really working out too well. I mean, really good for SOS to get this second shield battery. He seems like he was going to be okay no matter what, just by getting as many units as he did. He didn't actually skip any units, just go right into like 2 adept and a 2 sentry, and then go, okay, I'm good, I'm fine. I mean, it was already okay, but then the shield battery being a backup, just shield battery on the way, it was fantastic. He was really well set up to do what he had to, which was just stand his ground and fight, not fall back, not lose his shield batteries. He's going to get a confirmation on what Hurricane is following up with. He sees a Robo, but he also sees a Nexus. The Adepts over here, did they just barely glimpse the Stalkers? Maybe? Maybe they did. But you don't know what exactly they're going to do. Observer is actually going to be able to tell a lot of information, and the Warp Prism not going to be target fired down, but the Force Field is good. The Force Field actually works out. Maybe now he can do something. He's going to go to the left side as opposed to trying to risk it with the Warp Prism. Once again, trying to target fire it down. There's not enough anti-air units on the natural. The Immortal is going to be blocked out. The Warp Prism still lives. Observer even going to help take out SOS's Observer. Hurricane, though, not finding any real way to push in. Maybe it was tempting going to the natural, but the overcharge was threatening. He was hoping the Stalkers from the main would go down to the natural so he could go into the main. What is it? Oh, the Depths. Wait, he only recalled 1 Adept?
Twitch Prime Sabbath received. Thank you for a piece.
That was not the best recall, and actually there's overcharge the natural now. What a funny game. This Observer from Hurricane going to be giving a lot of information. He's getting partial information with the Warp Prism. You know, obviously he gets high ground vision, but going any deeper is a little bit more dangerous. The Observer was actually kind of nice. Well, not anymore. Thank you, Houseless Gamer, for the 13-month resub. Robotics Bay just finished up here for Hurricane, so I do expect Disruptor after her Immortal. Exactly the case. A couple of gateways coming down. Hurricane, a little desperate. His Nexus was later. He's been down pretty significantly in probes. He's still down by 9. And with no extra technology, just pure Stalker. So he really needed to do something that was going to be a comeback tool, and Disruptors are that ultimate comeback unit. SOS probably predicting this, and I think also getting a scout on it. Yeah. Both. He's going to go for a Stargate, and he certainly has the economy, and I think the position to go into a couple Phoenix to help out here. All he needs is a couple, as we're not talking about double Robo, we're not talking about Blink, or even Archons. Like, there's nothing really to tear down a Phoenix, so as long as he's able to get in there and cancel 1 Purification Nova, That's probably going to make the difference. Certainly going to make the Phoenix worth it, the Stargate worth it. Hurricane is all in at this point. He was already super dedicated in the first place. Now following up with a Disruptor all in that does kind of count on the Disruptor getting a good shot. I'm not seeing an opportunity, honestly. I don't think Hurricane can do it. There's a lot of shield batteries, there's a couple of cannons coming down. They got +1 almost finished up, and SOS is even doing a decent thing here by, oh, not losing his Immortals. Those are almost good force fields, but oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Well, that was a pretty good one. It actually wasn't that great. Oh, it's gonna be a lot better. Yeah, SOS is fine. I was gonna say that SOS kind of tried to take the fight prematurely, just see if he could knock off a couple of stalkers, but obviously the most important thing is that the Disruptor is out of the equation, the shield battery's finished up, and, well, Hurricane might have more army units right now. They aren't able to break through the natural, at least I don't think they are. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on here. There's actually not a lot of units left over, just a couple of Phoenix and those Immortals. Adepts being warped in mean that the Immortals suddenly don't look nearly as strong as they did against the mostly Stalker army. But the two Phoenix, they find the Warpers and they tear it down. And the probes are forced to be pulled off. All the shield batteries are out of juice. That cannon is no longer helping. A third Phoenix comes forward to try and lift an Immortal out of the equation. It's not quite dying. There it goes now. A force field pushes some units more forward. 17 probes have gone down. And Hurricane, oh my god, he's actually going to do it. Or is he? No, he's losing the Warpers, and he lost the Warpers, and he can actually continue to commit here. 2 Immortals from SOS are going to be able to save the day, and yes, I was right. SOS is able to defend, but damn, Hurricane got close. Shit. Now Hurricane on the last life. I don't know what he's gonna do. I'd love to see a mid-game or late game and what SOS can do when it comes to those Disruptor wars that we've been seeing. The games are ending too early. Game number 3 is going to happen on Submarine, the shortest map in the map pool. Both these guys being pretty aggressive. And Submarine, you'd think, would lend itself to more aggression, more aggressive options. Certainly what happens is a swifter defeat after screwing up on such a small map. So if you do manage to gain some momentum because of an early attack, you're probably going to keep it. In the bottom right, up 2-0, he is SOS. In the top left, as the red Protoss, it's Hurricane. Some people were questioning the tap out at the end there. Well, he was going to lose all of his army with no retreat option. Recall would take too long. And if he lost all of his army, then SOS still has enough economy to reinforce an attack. And oh my god, he's going to do a cannon rush. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, we're going to pay attention to this. So, yeah, he gets counterattacked, he gets contained, and one Disruptor can't really hold a defense. He gets out-microed and out-positioned and all that good stuff, so... No, Hurricane is right to tap out. He may, I mean, he could have. If this was like a best of 5 BlizzCon round of 4 or something, he'd probably have to tap out, but he's pretty dead. Alright. Alrighty, Roo. Single gateway from Hurricane. It's actually not such a bad situation. It's more about getting that cybernetics core down fast, and of course trying to stop the pylons and cannons from even coming up in the first place. Hurricane doing a decent job protecting the high ground, but has missed the opportunity to bounce around the low ground and stop this specific cannon from coming up. This is now awkward as he also loses the high ground. Oh no! Oh, he lost the low ground and the high ground. He's trying to get that probe, but it's already too late. Zealot is being chronoed out. Cybernetics core has put down as fast as possibly could, but cannon on the low ground is going to be canceled, I believe. And the high ground might also be okay. This cannon's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. All the probes are dead. So, yeah, Hurricane holds. Hurricane is Gucci. And SOS, what is your backup plan here? Ah, the villain. Oh, there is no backup plan. GG. GG. Okay. Game number 4 is on the way. Aw, Impact's going to military. So that was a very quick game 3. Hurricane, the start of the comeback, thanks to SOS. I was worried when he didn't get that low ground denial, but as I was saying, like, as long as it gets a cybernetics core super fast, that's usually I feel like what makes or break a cannon rush from continuing anyways. You know, the Stalker has a bit of range, can take out the probe if it's not already killed, stop the onslaught of cannons growing closer and closer to your nexus. But in that case, in that last game, he actually just got a Zealot ASAP. He had a chrono boost for it as well. And there was just enough surface area to ensure that the cannons didn't get up with, like, if they get up with like 50 or 100 health, it's actually kind of a bad thing, right? That's actually still kind of scary. They're injured, but they're alive, and they're killing a bunch of your probes pretty quickly, because a Zealot can only do so much. But getting the probes, definitely number one thing to do against a cannon rush. Get the probe. Hurricane did that, so. He holds. How many player names do I have? Good God. There we go. Hurricane holds and send us on to Eternal Empire. Oh boy. In the top right, as the pink Protoss, he is SOS. Going for a very, very early scout. In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, is Hurricane. And I did kind of hold my breath a little until we saw Gateway come down, but yeah. SOS just with a quick scout. I really need to adopt this pylon on the defensive side of your gateway. I need to adopt that. As you can see, Hurricane doesn't do it, but Hurricane, I think there's like some downsides to it. The most odd, like, SOS doing a really good job of convincing him it's a whatchamacallit. Actually, I think Hurricane, wait. Yeah, I think Hurricane wanted to do a one gateway expand. And was kind of forced into getting a second gateway. That was a very oddly timed gateway. Which, by the way, SOS is actually one gate's not quite expanding, maybe. He's getting a pylon, but he is one gating back at home. Anyways, what was I talking about? Shoot. It actually really threw me off. And his gateway was a bit later, but actually it still timed out well enough to kind of actually look really similar to a regular opener, or a double gateway opener. It seemed like it was a couple probes off, though. It's like an 18 or 19 gateway, and then that was a 20 gateway, something like that. Anyways. Anywho. I don't remember what I was talking about before that. Oh, the pylon! Yeah. So if it's an early attack, the pylon's kind of more vulnerable, right? That's a little bit scary. If it's an adept bust, the pylon's vulnerable, so on and so forth. But you can build a shield battery that's very well protected. I mean, granted, if you're already backed into this far of a corner, well, the shield battery can go like right here, I guess. You could already be in trouble, but we've seen that in PvPs today, where that pylon powering a shield battery has kind of been the first step to a defense. So I like it. Anyways, good on SOS to really scare Hurricane there. Hurricane is still looking around for a Stargate, and he finds it. He actually didn't see a lack of a second pylon, but just knowing SOS, I suppose. So that's nice. He's gonna be able to depower it before it gets to a second Oracle, maybe. Oh, the Oracle chooses to go after the Stalker, realizing there's not really a chance for it to deal damage. Instead, takes a large chunk of health away from that Stalker. So a second Oracle could be made, if that's what. SOS shouldn't, and he's not, and now he definitely isn't, because he sees a Phoenix. A very, very real Phoenix that is currently killing his Oracle. No, recall is too late. Oh, was it though? Oh my god! Shit. I really thought that was going to be too late, but alright. One Phoenix, not quite enough to tear that down. It will be a threat later on. Only so much of a threat. It's still forced out a shield battery. But while Hurricane did build a Phoenix first and foremost to deal with the proxy Stargate of his opponent, having Phoenix this early on in the game is actually not that bad. I mean, it's a different way of playing, but Phoenix styles do work out. So far, it doesn't do so hot. Good control to save the Phoenix. If they paired up with the Stalkers, it'd be a little more convincing. SOS... It was actually already building a Twilight Council before he saw the Phoenix counter his Oracle, I'm pretty sure. And it's not a bit of Blink, but that's exactly what he wants. I mean, he might have already been planning on going Blink, because Blink's a fine opener nowadays, but also on top of that, he's up against a Phoenix player, absolutely get Blink. The game continues on. Nexuses are pretty close together. Nexi? Yeah, whatever. Pretty close together in proper positioning. There's the shield battery plus the other shield battery in case Hurricane is being aggressive, because they're both missing sentries. They both don't have a lot of scouting. They have some partial scouting because Phoenixes kind of see something and Oracle kind of sees something, but you don't have that the full piece that a hallucination would usually give you. Oracle does go down, so nice find there by Hurricane. That thing can hide in a corner and come back later, especially in the natural. You don't think you need to build a shield battery, so good find there from Hurricane. And now his Phoenix will reign supreme in the skies and eventually pick up one or two probes. Probably one or two every minute or so. Blink is almost done though. A couple Chronoboosts have gone into that. Hurricane going to follow up his own Twilight Council pretty fast here, so no one going into a lot of Immortal production. They both stop their Stargate production, and we move on to possibly Blink versus Blink. We'll see what Hurricane does. Hurricane did prioritize a more typical composition last time he played on Eternal Empire before swapping off into Stalkers, right? Which gave him access to Archons. It wasn't even that he had slightly faster charge. They actually ended up finishing on the same time, but he definitely had Archons, whereas his opponent was just purely on Stalker. And I do think eventually we'll get to Stalker Disruptor. Hurricane is not anywhere close to getting Blink. Doesn't have a lot of Stalkers. Forcefully trapped one of the Stalkers in of SOS as an Immortal pops out for Hurricane, but he is really dependent on that Immortal. Phoenixes could come back and help out, but they're trying to get as many probes as possible. 7 probes go down, putting Hurricane at a 3-probe lead. If he can just hold on back at home, which I think he can. If there was a Warp Prism, I'd be a lot more scared, but I think he can hold on. Good target fire on that shield battery. Not much that Hurricane can do about that. And he taps the Immortal to pop the shield. The second Immortal is here, and Hurricane even feeling very bold, going after the Stalkers. One of them, or two of them, very, very weak. Both Immortal Shields have been popped, but like I said, if there was a Warp Prism, I'd be a lot more scared. Third Immortal is being chronoed. No more warp-ins quite yet. No shield battery, and that's really dangerous. Oh, there was no shield there. Actually, they still don't have their shields. Left blink forward was amazing. SOS, knowing the timings of the shield of an Immortal, looks like he's going to win the game. Oh my god, if they had a shield, I think that's very different. Obviously, if they have a shield battery, that's also very different, but he might have just won the game. Another aggressive blink forward on top of the Immortal that did have a shield that time, so got a couple extra shots, but this just might be too few units. The Phoenixes also only have so much energy, and while they could be very helpful, they can't lift up everything. It's not game over. It's not game over, but SOS did get revenge. He got some serious revenge. SOS is now up 10 probes. And Hurricane is going, oh my god, I can't believe I let this one go. I can't believe I lost. Or took damage. Two Immortals, one Immortal kills two Stalkers. Their death, and that's going to be a retreat there from SOS, but he definitely got revenge. Not only did he even up and then, actually exceed the probe count there. 53 probes to 39. But he did it while he was grabbing a third Nexus, while his +1 was not that far behind, and he grabbed 3 Immortals. Yeah, that's okay. That's pretty good. Phoenix still have the potential to add on just a little bit of damage here and there, so 3 probes going down is something, but as I said, like 2 or 3 every minute is a lot better than losing 7 all in one go or 7 early on in the game. Hurricane definitely in a vulnerable position. He wanted to get to a decent number of Immortals, probably 2 or 3, and then feel safe enough to start transferring over into his own technology, so building up his Archon counts, and hell, maybe actually getting into Blink eventually. But with the loss of all that army, and then the loss of his economy, kind of defaulting to a later third, but even later than you would want, yeah, he can't really do that. He's gonna have to stick on Charge Lot, Archon, and hope that the composition does better than SOS's composition. Which, I mean, technically it would, but he needs a lot of Archons. It looks like SOS, having grabbed Charge, yet not grabbing any Robotics Bay, is actually going to try and overwhelm his opponent with pure numbers. And a couple more Archons would make me feel a little more confident in Hurricane's defense. Like, if he had 5 Archons, I'd be like, okay, maybe. Not only that, but he also needs more shield batteries. I think that Observer saw the Warp Prisms, so that Hurricane knows, that SOS knows, he pulls it back. He's going to need those Immortals to help out against the oncoming attack. There's actually going to be a lot of damage done. As SOS, he didn't quite grab the victory with that earlier attack. He definitely wants it right now. He definitely wants to win. He knows he can win. He's got 20 more army supply than his opponent. He's still up in probes. Maybe Hurricane could have bought more time for +2 to finish, but he also needs all these shield batteries to finish. And it doesn't look like he'll have time to do that. Charge lots are starting to be warped in. They're coming in. No, he's going to wait a little while, try and get a concave. Nah, nothing's done. Nothing is done. Charge lots do form in a, line towards the Archons, which usually makes the Archons very effective, but the numbers just aren't there, as Hurricane also takes damage in the natural. Shield batteries do finish, and an overcharge is good. It's targeted down, but plenty more shield batteries finish, and hold on. Hold on, Hurricane, he's trying to defend. He's still got 3 Archons to bring over to the right side. 1 Immortal finally gets popped. Phoenix has come back home, and actually SOS is not going to be able to win the game right here, right now. Hurricane even going to finish up his +2 towards the end of this engagement. He has lost a lot of probes. He's down 18 probes. That's a lot. That's a lot. But he holds. And he gives himself another chance at this game because he's going into Disruptors. And we all know what Disruptors can do. He even keeps his 3 Phoenix alive, so maybe they can continue grabbing bits and pieces of probes here and there. My god, Hurricane holds. And he holds with quite a damn good army supply. He actually saved a lot of those Archons, and...
Thank you for appeasing the Overmind.
Like, he saved them when they were actually targets. It wasn't like SOS was completely, oh, well, I'll just win, like, blah, 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 I don't care. Like, there was some target fire. There was intent. He knew what he had to get rid of, But suddenly, with all the shield batteries finishing, there were multiple targets that he couldn't actually power down. Hurricane still is depending on his army to win out, as his economy is still in the gutter a bit. I mean, I guess he's now being able to transfer his probes, so it's kind of starting to even out as they both lose their minerals and their mains and naturals. I guess they would eventually even out. Oh my god! Oh, you real right now? Oh my god. How did that work? Was it not die? Oh, it is so huge, because it would have gotten both Archons. That is so big. He's trying to micro against the Archons too, but Hurricane also counter-microing. Armor supply is currently in favor of our red Protoss as a Phoenix is guarding against the Warp Prism. It does find it. The Warp Prisms are going to come in as well, so that's safe. That's okay. How is SOS's defense? It looks like it's fine. He's got double Robo, so he's already up to 2 Disruptors. I think he's going to be okay on the choke. He's got a couple of shield batteries as well. Oh no, those are DTs. Oh no! Oh no! SOS already grabbing a Dark Shrine was not something that Hurricane was anticipating. And oh my god, GG, game over. It's done. Or it's, yeah, GG. Alright. I like how SOS tries twice to end the game, and all it took was a couple of DT boys to be like, oh yeah. This is easy. I got it.